Everybody's doing it. AI. It's the world that we live in. Welcome to The Spark. I'm Jay Kozar with my co-host, Kendra Morvillo. Kendra, thanks for joining and co-hosting our podcast, episode 2. Let's jump straight into this and tell us about how we started utilizing AI.
In 2017, I looked this up last night when we were talking about this. Jan sent me an email, and it was HubSpot just bought this AI company, and they're going to start working on integrating it into their systems for sales and marketing. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh, that's cool. Future, who cares? It's not a big deal. That's something that I can't even think about yet. It's in the ether, right?
Is it one of those that you filed in the back of your mind,
or just pushed it over to the side, right?
I'll get to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in 2019, Jan went to the first MACON conference, which is Marketing AI conference put on by PR 2020, headed by Paul Reitzer, who now runs the Marketing AI Institute. He shifted his whole business model to go over to that.
Yeah, he's big time.
Big time. Super engaging, fun speaker, loves playing with the tool and really teaching people how to use it in different ways. And she really got her fire sparked on that one and kept saying, we've got to find ways to bring this into the agency. We really need to start talking about it more and figuring out how to use it. And then in, I don't remember, 2020, maybe, it had to be post-COVID, there was the big Cozy Summit, and they had Paul Reitzer speak, and I heard it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I totally get it. I'm super excited about it. So we started doing it.
Okay. So how did you use it? When did you actually utilize it, in earnest?
I think about the same time the rest of the world did. As soon as ChatGPT came out, we started playing with it and just seeing what it could do. And to try and kind of integrate it and force, not everybody on the team, I would say, not everybody on the team was super excited about it. People don't trust it. People are leery of it.
It's going to take their job.
Obviously, that was the initial fear. But I think that it started to become something that we couldn't ignore, and we wanted to bake it into what we did. And so we came up with Project Spark, which was the initiative, and you've done this too now, is everybody picks a thing that they're interested in and figures out how to use AI to solve for it.
Yeah, I think what's great about Project Spark from our agency side is everybody owns a tool. Bring it, educate the team on it, so then we can utilize those tools for clients.
Yeah, sometimes willingly, sometimes reluctantly, but
that's fair.
Yeah, I think it's worked so far, and we've done a couple rounds of it now. Not everything's going to be a home run. Sometimes there's a swing and a miss, but it's experimental.
It is experimental, and AI it's such a new tool. Well, we say it's new. It's been around.
Right.
We're now utilizing it in our daily lives, personal lives, but from a marketing perspective, there are some misses out there. We've utilized some platforms, I can tell you, that definitely didn't hit the mark. And I think the irony in the example I'll use, no names, please, but the example is there's platforms out there that run your content through, and is it AI generated? Created a total AI generated blog, ran it through, and it was definitely authentic. A human wrote that. So it is definitely not perfect.
And we tested the opposite too, right? So we put a totally human written blog through, and they were like, AI.
Right. So it's kind of, I would say for AI, it's in its infancy still. I can't imagine where it's going to end up. My mind doesn't work like that, I guess. But, as we utilize the tools for our clients, I think that's one way that we keep up the heat. We utilize it for ourselves and see what value can it bring us. And then from there, utilize it for our clients. We kind of punch holes through it for ourselves, right? We're our own guinea pigs.
Yeah. So how we started with it. We know, obviously, the most basic function is content generation. It's easy. And that's a huge part of what we do. We write blogs, we write emails, whatever. And so we would give it some blog topics to try. And if it's something basic, like yoga, something simple, something about yoga.
Wait, yoga's simple? Are you like a yoga?
No, but
enthusiast? Yoga's not simple for me.
I should say no.
Yoga's very painful for me.
It's not simple for me either.
I need to stretch more.
Stretching's really important.
Yeah.
Especially at our age. But I think that you could put something in that there's a lot of information out there readily available on the internet and put a prompt in for that and you're going to get a decent result. But we have some very technical clients and some very specialized clients, and it's just not going to work like that. And so it's not so easy.
So we've kind of poked holes through it, made fun of it a little bit, right? Here's instances where it, might not work or it doesn't work as smoothly as we would expect. Can you give me some examples of how you utilize it where it does work?
So I think that one of my biggest hacks is that I have a real tone problem. I tend to be too brief in my emails.
You don't have no filter? You just get straight to the point?
I do. I don't waste time with extra words a lot of the time.
Noted.
And so I think you know that. And so I will now write an email and think like, ugh, that feels a little dicey. And so I'll put it through ChatGPT and I say this nicer. And it really has done wonders for my relationships. I think it's really a useful tool in that way. And that's just like a basic everyday use.
This is in your personal life as well, not just business?
Yeah. I use it for organizations I'm involved in. I use it for letters to family, all of that.
I've also, here's a business example. I'm going to lead the witness a little bit. I've seen you get prepared for client meetings. We'll pick on ourselves for front burner marketing. Our clients loves data, right? We've talked to, she wants to be on the bleeding edge of what's going on in AI. I've seen you utilize AI, you pull data, and then I've seen you actually put it into AI, ChatGPT. What's the end result? Yeah,
so it's tricky because, again, you have to be mindful about the things that it hallucinates or makes up or fudges, like numbers in particular. But you can take data out of something like Google Analytics or SEMrush or any of our tools and run it through just your basic ChatGPT. We use 4 and say, tell me what you see about, the SEO on this and how can I improve performance? And it actually does an amazing job of really accurately kind of assessing the situation and giving it reasonable next steps and how to address it. Again, you need to have someone checking it, vetting it, someone who knows what they're doing, but to write out a description of why your link profile looks the way it does is pretty tedious work. And if it can jump the line and get you ahead, it gives you more time to like strategize and kind of think bigger picture instead of just trying to describe the technical details of performance of a website or a blog or whatever.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of folks who feel nervous. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Is it going to take my job? I would say no for anybody listening to this. Is AI going to take your job? No. Is it going to change the task that you have to handle, that you have to touch? Is it going to give you space to operate and be more creative and strategic? Absolutely. I could tell you I utilize different AI tools to help create outlines, come up with questions, to still boil down different data, much like you, but from a content standpoint, to really boil down my ideas. I can be all over the place a little bit. So it helps me really focus me, right? But so it's not going to, I believe, take people's jobs, but it is definitely going to give you a reason to be more successful.
Yeah, I think it helps cut out some of the boring parts too.
I thought you were going to say bullshit, but
no,
go ahead.
I didn't.
Okay.
But I could have. But one of the things that I was surprised about, so we're talking about data, we're talking about content, those are pretty straightforward. I think one of the coolest uses that I've found yet in work is the one I mentioned the other day is in a branding session where it's a very creative session. It's totally brainstorming. It's idea gen and just kind of like, I always rely on like the human emotion element of it to really develop how people are feeling about a brand when they start like choosing words, doing word association. And so I decided to try running that through chat and said, summarize these words that, this client says that that their brand is and that their brand isn't. And what do you kind of synthesize out of it? And it just freaking nailed it. It was really impressive and it was emotional and it got the right tone. And it just, that would have taken me hours and hours and it just helped me move forward and then think bigger and beyond. So it's it's enabling me to think about things differently and not kind of get stuck in all of the slow parts of the work.
That sounds amazing. And as a creative at heart, I guess it does make me a little nervous, a little scared, but I'll focus on the positive there, how you ended that.
Well, it's probably good that you're out of graphic design, because I have heard recently a lot of people in the last year have in fact lost jobs in graphic design because of AI. I have tried to use it for graphic design, and I would not be kicking anyone out of a job with that. It doesn't quite work the way I expect it to most of the time.
Okay. I think one thing that, a common thread here is a human hand on the wheel still. So AI is giving us more data, helping us boil things down. It also is reasoning now, right? Chat 4, there's reason. I know we were at HubSpot Inbound when that was announced. And the crowd basically went wild. And that really bled into what HubSpot was saying with their new AI offerings and really looking forward to the future of AI. Think of AI not only as a tool that you use, but also as a teammate in the future.
Right.
We're talking about, I guess what was equivalent to the App Store before, which blew up. You're going to have an app for that. You're going to have an app for that. As we move forward, we're going to have AI agents for that. So somebody on your team will be AI. AI generated will give you a total different perspective, a whole different lens and a skill set. There'll be a whole network where you'll have agents that are actually, their own teammates, and they're relying on each other in the background. It's absolutely Terminator horrifying, as James Cameron told us years ago. But it's here. Starlink is real.
I think I turned to you during that session at HubSpot, and I was like, "Oh boy."
Yeah, it's here.
It's a little scary, a little intense, but it's also pretty cool. If you're open-minded about it and reasonable and smart about your use, I think that's super important. Don't put all of your bank statements through it, probably, unless you've got,
That's not a good idea?
You should stop doing that.
Yeah.
I saw you doing it.
I need to stop doing that.
Yeah. Apologies. Okay. And I think there's also, if you're nervous about it, I don't think you can be nervous about it. I think you have to try it. I think to not play with it is a mistake. I did test out last night in prep for this, simple ways to use it. And stupid idea, but you just take a picture of your fridge and you say, what can I cook out of this? Give me 5 recipes under 500 calories. And it literally just gave me these recipes within 2 minutes. It was super cool. And then I took pictures of my fruit and vegetables on the counter. And I was like, give me 5 recipes with using 2 of these ingredients. And it did. And it's simple and fun. And there are lots of ways to just start playing with it and get more comfortable. And I think that's what people need to do. I think you should throw the spaghetti at the wall. Give it a shot, because
something will stick.
Because not every use is going to be for you, but there are a million ways to use it. And if you don't, you're going to get left behind.
Well, that's a lot to digest. There's a lot of viewers who either are on the same page as us or going, I need to make recipes tonight.
They're at their fridge.
Yeah. So guys,
pictures.
Grocery games, right? Playing that. What do I have? That really cuts to the front of the line. With that being said, we are utilizing these AI tools. We are utilizing AI as a team member at Front Burner Marketing. We're keeping up the heat for our clients to grow their businesses, grow their revenue.
Grow our business too.
Absolutely.
Yep.
With that being said, though, let's wrap it here. We could go on, but let's wrap it. And let's please, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next episode.